When Captain Jace Arlen opened his eyes, the world around him looked like a dream made of light. Golden walls curved upward, covered in symbols that glowed like living fire. Thousands of strange tall beings surrounded him, each with smooth silver skin and shining blue eyes. They stood in silence, staring at him like he was something holy or dangerous. He tried to move, but his arms felt heavy. He was lying inside a crystal-like capsule. A faint mist swirled around him as the top lifted open with a soft hiss. Subject 7A, human, a voice said from somewhere above. Confirmed active, Jace blinked, his heart pounding. The last thing he remembered was the Omega Frontier War, the chaos, the explosions, and the blinding light that had ended everything. And now this. He pushed himself up slowly. Where am I? A tall alien in a silver robe stepped forward. You are aboard the Varel Dominion flagship, the Crown of Stars. You are the last of your kind, Captain Arlen. Jace's stomach dropped. The last of my kind? The alien nodded solemnly. Humanity has been gone for over 300 cycles. Your DNA survived only because your stasis pod was found drifting near the Veil Nebula. The crowd erupted in soft murmurs. Jace looked around, confusion and disbelief on his face. These beings didn't look like enemies. Their faces were calm, their movements elegant, their world shining like paradise. But something in the air felt wrong, too quiet, too controlled. A smaller figure stepped out from behind the guards. Her eyes were brighter than any of the others, deep silver with a soft violet ring. She wore a white ceremonial robe lined with gold. Everyone bowed when she appeared. She couldn't have been more than 19 in human years. But the way she carried herself, graceful, confident, made her seem far older. Welcome, Captain Arlen, she said in a soft, melodic voice. I am Princess Kayla Varel, first daughter of the Dominion. And you are my prize. The room went silent. Jace froze. You're what? Kayla smiled gently, though there was something uneasy in her eyes. You were revived for the breeding accord, a sacred tradition to strengthen our species' survival. My people's genome is failing. We need yours. Jace stepped back, disbelief flooding his mind. You're saying I was brought here to... Kayla interrupted softly. Not in the way you think, Captain. It's about legacy. Your genetic code will merge with ours to preserve adaptability, creativity, and emotion, qualities that once made humanity unique. The Council believes it is the only way to stop our decline. Jace clenched his fists. So I'm not a man to you. I'm just a sample in a lab. The murmurs in the crowd grew louder. The silver-robed official raised a hand. You should be honored, human. Your name will be remembered for eternity. Jace's jaw tightened. No, he said firmly. I didn't fight for humanity just to end up as someone's science project. I'm not a prize, gasps echoed through the grand hall. The alien guard stiffened. Kayla's expression flickered between surprise and admiration. You dare reject the Dominion's offer? The official barked. You insult the princess herself. Jace turned toward the sea of staring faces. You call this honor? My people died for freedom, not for cages made of gold. The silence that followed was heavy. Even the glowing walls seemed to dim. Kayla's eyes softened, but the guards were already closing in around him. Their weapons hummed with blue energy. Captain, please, Kayla whispered. Don't fight them. I didn't come this far to be owned, Jace said through gritted teeth. 2 guards grabbed his arms. He pulled free and swung instinctively, knocking one back. The crowd shouted in alarm. Energy bolts struck the ground near his feet. The air filled with crackling light and chaos. Then Kayla's voice rang out, sharp and commanding. Enough! Everyone froze. Her tone carried authority far beyond her years. She turned to the guards. Stand down. He is under my protection. But Princess, now! She ordered. The guards stepped back reluctantly. The hall fell silent again. Kayla looked at Jace, her expression unreadable. You've made enemies today, Captain. The Council will not forgive this insult. Jace rubbed his wrists. I'll live, her lips curved slightly. You might not. The Dominion doesn't like rebellion, he frowned. Then why protect me? Kayla stepped closer, lowering her voice. Because you remind me of what we lost. The Varel were not always like this. Obedient, cold, afraid of change. Our ancestors once explored the stars with passion. Now everything is decided by the Council's algorithms. We've become predictable. Jace studied her. There was no deceit in her tone, only quiet sadness. She looked up at him. You spoke of freedom. I haven't heard that word in years. Before he could reply, the official shouted, "Guards, seize him. The council demands his submission." Kayla's face hardened. She turned to Jace. "Follow me, now." She ran toward a side corridor, her robe flowing behind her. Jace hesitated only a second before following. They sprinted through gleaming hallways lit by blue lights. The ship's hum echoed around them as alarms began to sound. "Do you even have a plan?" Jace called out. "Mostly," she said, tapping a glowing wristband. "There's a service duct ahead that leads to the lower levels." "Mostly?" Jace muttered. "Great." They slipped into a narrow tunnel just as the first patrol appeared behind them. The door sealed shut, hiding them in darkness. Only the faint blue light from Kayla's wristband illuminated their faces. She was breathing hard, but still calm. "They'll search every deck. We have minutes at best." Jace leaned against the wall, catching his breath. "You just risked your throne to save me." Why, Kayla looked down. "Because I'm not saving you, Captain. I'm saving what you represent. The Council believes perfection means control, but perfection kills creativity, emotion, life itself. Humanity was proof of that." She met his eyes. "You were supposed to be a symbol of obedience. But when you refused, you reminded me of something our people forgot. Choice." Jace was silent for a moment. Her words hit him harder than he expected. He finally said quietly, "If you believe in choice, then help me find the truth. What really happened to my people?" Kayla hesitated. "The records say extinction, but I've seen fragments, files hidden deep in the archives. I think the Dominion did more than watch humanity fall." "What do you mean?" Her gaze was firm. "I mean they erased you." Jace felt a chill run through him. "Why?" "Because your kind refused to join the Dominion. You were too unpredictable, too emotional, too dangerous." Jace's hands curled into fists. "So they erased us from history." Kayla nodded slowly. "But someone brought you back, Jace. Someone wanted to remind the galaxy what humans were capable of." For the first time since waking, he felt a spark of hope. "Then let's find out who and why." Kayla smiled faintly. "You really are stubborn. Part of being human," he said. Suddenly the tunnel shook. A robotic voice echoed through the metal walls. "Attention. Unauthorized life signs detected in Maintenance Zone 3. Deploying intercept units." Kayla's eyes widened. "They found us." She opened a hatch at the end of the tunnel, revealing a small service chamber filled with humming machines. "Through here!" Jace climbed in first. The noise of footsteps echoed above them. They ran across the chamber toward a narrow lift tube. Kayla pressed her hand to the sensor. "Deck 14, Archive Sector." The lift hummed to life, descending fast. Alarms blared all around. "Archive Sector?" Jace asked. "Why there?" "That's where the truth lies," Kayla said. "If we reach it, you'll see what really happened to Earth." The doors opened to a dark hall lined with glowing memory columns. Ancient data pulsed inside them like veins of light. Kayla turned to him, her voice quiet but steady. "If we fail, they'll lock you away again forever. But if we succeed, maybe we can bring back what your people stood for." Jace looked at her, then at the endless walls of alien history. "Then let's succeed." Before they could move, the sound of approaching guards echoed down the corridor. Energy lights flickered at the far end. Kayla touched his arm. "No matter what happens, remember, you're not a prize, human. You're the key to saving us all." The guards appeared, weapons raised. Jace stepped forward, ready to fight, as Kayla whispered, "We run on my signal. Ready?" He nodded. The corridor lights dimmed, and together they ran into the unknown. The service lift clanked and shuddered as it carried Jace Arlen and Princess Kayla Varel deep into the underbelly of the Crown of Stars. The ship above them hummed like a giant living creature, patrolling halls glowing with alien symbols and metal polished to a mirror shine. Kayla pressed her hand against the control panel, keeping the lift steady. "We have minutes, maybe less," she said. Her voice was calm, but her eyes betrayed worry. "Once the Council realizes we've left the ceremonial deck, they'll send every intercept unit in the Dominion." Jace looked around at the dim corridors emerging from the lift. "You really think we can outrun the entire Dominion fleet?" he asked. Kayla shook her head. "Not outrun. Hide long enough to find the truth." Jace frowned. "The truth? About what?" Kayla stopped and leaned against the wall, motioning for him to follow. "About humanity. About why you were brought back. About why the Council erased every record of your people." Her words hit him like a punch. He had thought the Dominion merely wanted him for some genetic experiment. Now he realized the story went much deeper. Humanity hadn't just fallen. They had been erased, and he had been deliberately awakened. Someone had a plan, and he was at the center. They rounded a corner and slipped into a narrow service tunnel, the walls low and cold. Pipes and cables ran along the ceiling like veins. Kayla moved with the ease of someone who had done this many times before, pressing buttons that opened hidden passageways. "You've been here before?" Jace asked. Kayla shook her head. "Only in the records. My mother, Empress Varel, never allowed anyone to explore these lower levels. But the maps I found as a child, I memorized them. I never thought I'd use them like this." Jace studied her. Despite her youth, she carried herself with the confidence of a seasoned warrior. He felt a flicker of hope. If someone from the Dominion hierarchy could defy the Council, maybe they had a chance. Suddenly, a warning light blinked along the tunnel. A robotic voice echoed, "Unauthorized life forms detected. Security teams dispatched. Intruders will be neutralized." Jace tensed. "They found us." Kayla's eyes narrowed. "Then we move faster." She pressed a panel and the wall slid open to reveal a maintenance lift. They slipped inside, the metal doors sealing them in darkness. The lift dropped several decks. Jace could hear the low hum of the ship's engines around them. "So, you're rebelling against your own people?" he asked. "Isn't that dangerous?" Kayla gave a faint smile. "Dangerous? Yes, necessary. Even more so. The Council believes control equals survival. They monitor every thought, every action. They've stripped my people of curiosity, of risk, of creativity. But I remember stories. Stories of explorers, of warriors, of humans like you." Jace frowned. "Stories? You're talking about humans," Kayla nodded. "Your kind survived against all odds. Even when the galaxy believed humanity was gone, you kept fighting, kept dreaming. That is something the Varel have forgotten. Something the Council fears, and that is why they want you as a prize." Her words made Jace pause. Humans were gone. And yet, in this moment, he realized they had left a mark strong enough to inspire rebellion across the stars. The lift doors opened to a narrow hallway lined with glowing data conduits. "The archive sector is just ahead," Kayla whispered. "If we reach it, we can access hidden files. Files the Council doesn't want anyone to see." Jace's heart raced. "And if we're caught?" Kayla's expression hardened. "Then we fight. We survive. We remind them why humans cannot be erased." The corridor ended at a massive steel door marked with alien glyphs. Kayla tapped her wristband and the symbols shimmered. The door slid open to reveal a chamber filled with memory pillars, tall, translucent cylinders glowing with flowing light. Each one contained centuries of data, like a living library. Jace's eyes widened. This is amazing." Kayla led him between the pillars. "The Council wants everyone to believe humanity simply vanished. But I found fragments of messages, logs, and even battle footage that the Dominion buried. They erased your people because we were too unpredictable, too emotional, too alive." Jace felt a pang of anger and sorrow. His ancestors had not fallen in vain. They had been deliberately removed from history. And now somehow he had been brought back to uncover the truth. He looked at Kayla. "Why did you help me?" "You're a princess. The Council could destroy you for this." Kayla's eyes softened. "Because I want to remember what life is like without fear, without control. Because humanity reminded me that survival is not just about following rules, it's about courage and choice." For the first time, Jace felt respect for the young princess. She was more than a figurehead. She was a rebel fighting for her people, for freedom, for life. Suddenly, a warning alarm blared. Energy shields flickered along the walls. "They found us in the archives," Kayla said. "Hurry!" They ran between the memory pillars, dodging security drones that had already entered the chamber. The machine scanned and fired beams of light that hummed like electricity. Jace rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding a blast. Kayla's agility and knowledge of the corridors saved them repeatedly. As they reached the end of the chamber, Kayla touched a control panel. A hidden door slid open, revealing a narrow service shaft that spiraled downward. "This leads to the fragment sector," she said. "Scientists there have been secretly working to restore the Varelian genome using hidden human data. They can help us." Jace climbed in first, helping Kayla down. The shaft was dark, but faint blue lights illuminated their path. "So the humans?" "Your people. They were never truly gone," he said quietly. They left something behind. Kayla nodded. Yes, your code, your resilience, your creativity. The council feared it, but others remembered. That is why you were revived. Someone wanted you to ignite hope. Jace paused. Hope? For humans or for Varelians? Kayla smiled faintly. Both, maybe more. If we succeed, the galaxy will remember that life cannot be controlled. That freedom, courage, and ingenuity will always survive. A low rumble shook the shaft. They had reached the bottom level. The fragment sector spread out before them like a hidden city. Scientists in various forms, some human-like, some Varelian, some hybrids, worked at glowing consoles studying genetic patterns. One of them, an older Varelian woman, rushed forward. Princess Kayla, you weren't supposed to... She stopped when she saw Jace, her eyes widened. The human, you brought him. Kayla held up a hand. He's not a prize. He's the key to our survival. The scientists exchanged uncertain glances. Finally, the older woman nodded. Very well. If he is here willingly, we will help. But the council will come for you all. Jace looked around. This underground network was alive with energy, filled with hope and intelligence that had been hidden from the Dominion. Here humans and Varelians could work together, combining strengths, rebuilding what had been lost. Kayla turned to him. The council believes perfection is control. We know perfection comes from diversity, from courage, from choice. That is why they fear you. That is why they wanted you as a prize. Jace felt a strange mix of pride and responsibility. Humanity had been erased, yet here he was, standing in the heart of an alien empire, ready to remind them why humans were never truly defeated. Suddenly, the communications console beeped. The council's ships had entered the lower levels, scanning for intruders. The fragment sector went into alert. Kayla gripped his arm. We have no time. We need to move the data before they destroy it. This is your chance to prove what humans are capable of against all odds. Jace nodded. Then let's show them. They raced through the corridors carrying memory drives filled with centuries of hidden human knowledge. Drones pursued them, but Kayla's leadership and Jace's ingenuity kept them one step ahead. Together, they navigated the labyrinth of corridors, understanding each other's strengths without needing words. For the first time, Jace understood why humans had survived so long. It wasn't just physical strength. It was courage, resourcefulness, and the refusal to be controlled. As they reached the exit to the outer maintenance bay, Kayla looked at him. Once we leave, there is no turning back. The council will see you as a threat, and I will be considered a traitor. Are you ready? Jace swallowed hard. I'm ready. Humanity may have been erased, but I am here now, and I will not be a pawn. Kayla smiled, a flicker of admiration in her eyes. Then come, Captain. The galaxy is about to remember your kind. The doors opened, revealing the cold void of space beyond the ship. Patrol ships moved in formation, scanning for intruders. Jace and Kayla clutched the memory drives tightly. This was only the beginning, but already the weight of history rested on their shoulders. And somewhere deep in the council's chambers, the Empress Varel's voice rang out. My daughter. And the human will pay for their defiance. The galaxy will learn what happens to those who betray the Dominion. Jace tightened his jaw. Kayla's hand found his. Together they leaped into the unknown, carrying humanity's spark and the hope of the stars.